Thanks very much for staying with us. Time now for Eye on Africa with me, Georgia Calvin-Smith. Tonight, a day after opposition leader Raila Odinga stages a mock swearing-in as the people's president, the government of Kenya's real president, Uhuru Kenyatta, comes down hard on those linked to the symbolic event and vows to keep 3 TV stations shut pending an investigation. Also, France's president heads to Tunisia for his first state visit since taking office last May. Emmanuel Macron's signing of bilateral trade deals reflects his hopes that French investors can help boost Tunis's flagging economy. And Kampala's club scene is turning down the volume for wild nights out. Partygoers have something new to shout about with the rise of silent discos. We take a look. But first, Kenya's cracked down hard on politicians linked to Tuesday's mock inauguration of opposition leader Raila Odinga as the people's president. The Interior Ministries called it a move against the government and said that private media outlets shut down for their coverage of the event will remain closed pending an investigation. Kenya's media councils called this the greatest assault on freedom of expression in Kenyan history. The MP who swore Odinga in has reportedly been arrested, and authorities have hinted there'll be more arrests to come.
We long lost the days of threatening action. We will act. The individuals who are involved in this and the organizations involved in this, wherever they are within the borders of this country, will feel it. And they will be so sorry they tried. And we will arrest them, those we need to arrest, and we will take them before a judge or before a magistrate, and we will both go there for the law to be interpreted for us.
Well, former Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka, who had been due to be called Odinga's symbolic vice president, says that his home has been attacked. Political tensions on the rise as Odinga continues to accuse President Uhuru Kenyatta of having used fraud to win elections at the end of last year. Ruben Kyama tells us more about current political tensions.
My view, I would say this is one of the darkest moments in Kenya's history. 3 of the country's main private television channels already shut down, and the confusion that comes with a mock inauguration of the opposition leader. This has actually made the country get into a confusion, and a lot of people have been expressing their disappointment. So up to now, there is still confusion because the minister in charge of internal security, as you said, has already made a statement this afternoon and said that the shutdown will continue until further notice as investigations continue.
So does this move against the media come as a surprise?
Indeed, it comes as a big surprise, and you will notice that a lot of rights groups have actually criticized the government's move, calling it a violation of public right to information. A lot of people take Kenya as a beacon of hope. For a long time, the media in Kenya has enjoyed relatively free operation. I mean, Kenya enjoys some form of free space in the media, and actually that makes it a big surprise for many media analysts here. But also at the same time, you remember this announcement of the shutdown came also a few days after editors here said they'd received the threats from the government that if anyone would dare air the transmission of the swearing-in ceremony, suddenly licenses of those television stations would be withdrawn.
Ruben Kyama there for us in Nairobi. For his first state visit, French President Emmanuel Macron headed to Tunisia on Wednesday. As well as signing agreements about security and culture, the trip also represented his stated hopes that French investors could help reinvigorate Tunisia's battered post-revolutionary economy. Our correspondent sent us this report.
The mountains around Bizerte represent an opportunity for growth for French renewable energy group Quadran. It operates internationally, but unusually, its Tunisian branch is set up like a local company, a sign of Quadran's commitment to future expansion plans in the country.
We're a Tunisian firm abiding by Tunisian law. We pay our taxes because we want to be seen as trustworthy managers in the long term.
Quadron is investing €30 million to build 8 wind turbines here. It's counting on France's support to get the project off the ground.
We expect our president to help us work with Tunisian institutions and also find backers for everything related to our finances.
Paris has pledged to help Tunisia tackle graduate unemployment, could also offer a boost. Over 30% of youth are out of work.
For instance, a good program could be one that they continue to train or start to train or give tools to Tunisians who have a diploma so that they can thrive in a digital economy, which is a job provider.
But despite the potential of investing in Tunisian projects, overseas lenders are cautious of the current fragility of the country's economy.
We hope that a lot of things will get better. The best indicator for this is that Tunisia saw in 2017 a growth rate of up to 2.3%, and we want to get to a growth rate of 3% in 2018.
French President Emmanuel Macron has called on more French firms to take the plunge in Tunisian ventures. He's also vowed closer ties between Paris and Tunis.
Well, since reaching a record high in early December, the value of the virtual currency, Bitcoin, has halved. Despite its volatility, Bitcoin is wildly popular with millions of users around the world. Globally, Nigeria and Kenya rank 4th and 5th in terms of the number of users. But Nairobi's central bank's worried that the bubble could easily burst.
In this working-class Nairobi neighborhood, Eugene is cleaning his brand new motorbike. It's been 8 months since he began investing in virtual money.
Gave me very good returns in the money actually I'd invested, and I was like, why not? This is the bike I've always wanted.
Thanks to Bitcoin, he now earns about €650 monthly, much more than the €98 the average Kenyan earns. Eugene regularly watches the currency rate.
So I look and I see the prices from here.
In this center dedicated to entrepreneurs, there are more and more investors getting involved with virtual money. Michael was one of the first to use Bitcoin in Kenya. He says high unemployment is making these young people increasingly willing to take on the risk.
Young people are being driven by a desire to find opportunities. And if they see something like cryptocurrency and they can see, hey, there's demand for cryptocurrency here and I can get it, why can I not do this? So there's no reason for them not to do it.
It's an infatuation that worries the Kenyan government. The country's central bank has recently ramped up its warnings. Clients of this trading group are asking more and more questions about virtual money, but like the central bank, its head doesn't recommend Bitcoin.
It might go up next week, it might go down next week, but at the end of the day, it's going to be worth near zero. So investors who've come into Bitcoin now are going to suffer huge losses.
Citibank's last report says Kenya is holding more than €1.3 billion in bitcoins. If that currency collapses, the country could lose up to 2.3% of its gross domestic product.
Clubbers in Uganda are getting all the best of both worlds. A quiet night in whilst also letting loose on the dance floor. Silent discos are increasingly popular in Kampala, and not just with the neighbours. Have a listen.
This nightclub in Kampala is very quiet. That's because clubbers are all wearing headphones. It's a silent disco.
We started off with 150 headphones. We had to get more headphones. We got 300 headphones. 300 headphones became very little. We got 500 headphones. Those became little. Now we have 800 headphones. So it's self-explanatory.
There are several DJs and people choose what they want to listen to.
It's actually, you take control of your own music, so you have fun. I mean, if you come with a crowd, like your own friends, and you keep on telling them, switch to this, it's kind of, actually, it's fun.
Even concerts are being broadcast through wireless headphones, an experience that artist Maurice Kiria enjoys.
Sometimes you go to the shows and people are hyped up and having a really good time, that sometimes they miss the lyrics and the things that you are actually talking about. So here, it was wonderful because you know that every note counts. Every lyric goes straight to the heart. So I had a good time.
the use of headphones means the number of noise complaints has fallen. Critics say silent discos symbolise individualism, but their popularity in Kampala and around the world keeps on growing.
Well, that's it for Eye on Africa. Thanks very much for joining us. Do so again. Take care.